Dave, the Scottish Cup this weekend against Dunfermline, a competition obviously you know all too well. How much are you looking forward to the game?
Very much so. I think it's a really good game to look forward to. I think we're taking over 5,000 fans, which is a brilliant following again, just across the water. Difficult game against a side that, young side that have got a lot of energy, and obviously a manager we know well as well. So I think it's got all the makings of a classic cup tie. We know we need to be going to earn the right and make sure the mentality is right from the start, because it's an opportunity to try and get the next round of the cup.
Yeah, you mentioned it there. Obviously, Neil Lennon's a manager that you know all too well as well. What was it like to play under him? And then secondly, I suppose, what kind of insight will that give you when you're facing him this weekend? Yeah,
I think he's, I've said a few times, he's very much what the club needed at the time when they brought him in just after Alan Stubbs left, and that was someone who's got that winning mentality every single day in training. That's what he wanted to see. He wanted his teams to be winning and driving that standard all the time, and it was exactly what we needed to get out of the Championship. We'd spent too long in the Championship as a football club, and that attitude of making sure that you're going into every game with that winning mentality, and it was definitely something that he instilled in the team straight away, and I fully expect that mindset to be going towards the Dunfermline players at the weekend, making sure they're right up for it. And that's something that's my job to prepare the players to make sure they're aware of what they're going into, which they will be. And obviously, as I've already said there, it's got all the makings of a really good game, but it's about us making sure that we approach it the right way.
What do you expect then from Dunfermline?
I expect them to have a real go. That's what Neil Lennon sides do. They'll have a real go, try and make it difficult for us as much as they can. Full focus for us this week has been about the mentality and making sure that we approach it properly, which we will. That's been something we've in trained really well, making sure that we are doing things properly in terms of looking at Dunfermline and the game plan, the attention that's went into it. It's very much the same as any other game, so it's a massive game for the football club. It's the first game in the Scottish Cup, which is something that at the start of every season we set out objectives and targets to try and a genuine opportunity to try and win a trophy. When you come to this football club, that's the expectation. The fans have already got that expectation as well, with 5,000 of them going towards the game tomorrow. So I think, as I say, it's a game that the players should be looking forward to. The squad itself is in a better place as well, which is great, with players coming back from injury, international players returning, which hopefully is a good omen going into the game.
Yeah, you touched upon the fans just then, over 5,000, making the short trip, obviously over to Dunfermline. The game's on TV as well, but magnificent support, that many supporters making the journey.
Incredible. I think it's something that all season, the numbers that we've went to every away game, to be honest, even in Europe, think about some of the distance that some fans have travelled already this season, the money that's been spent. It's expensive to follow your team. Even at the weekend, how many sellouts have we had already, even at Easter Road? So it doesn't surprise me that we're going over there in our numbers. The expectation, the togetherness that between, and the connection, I think, between the players and the fans is really strong and has been for a while now, and that's something that it can only be a good thing as long as you're all going in the one direction. And as I've just said there, hopefully we can send them home happy.
Just finally then, you mentioned team news, but just give us a little bit more detail on that.
Yeah, the only one that's definitely still out is Josh Campbell, so he was the one that his injury will keep him out towards the end of the month, but it's progressing well. International players are all back and trained fully, which is great. Martin Boyle, Nicky Cadden, all trained this week as well. I did say before the Motherwell game that game just came too soon, but we did have positive news in terms of their return to training. They've came through that this week, which is good because it gives us a real strong, healthy squad, which will be a difficult game this weekend.
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.